Heck yeah. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Hope all of you are having a good day and hope you enjoy the stream. So let's see. Let's see if we could share the link and then we could probably wait for a couple, for a bunch of people to be here. Let's see. Where should I put the link? I should probably send it in the server, Hump on Grider.
Yo, hello. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
Just don't ping everyone.
Right.
Hello, Diamond Archer.
Yo, what's good, Diamond Archer? Yo, what's good, bro? How you been? Let's see. One more place I want to send it. There we go. At Subway? Yeah, my stuff's going pretty good, bro. So, yeah, it's part of what I want to go over on the stream is kind of how I've been progressing behind the scenes because I made a community tab post almost a year ago announcing that I was going to start easing my way into like posting again. And I did a few things, but I had a massive recording session today. And yeah, things are going really good. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about everything. Yeah, life is good. All right. Yeah, I'm about to steal all the viewers from pretty much every other power scaling channel. So that's going to be fun. Let's see. Let me actually send one more link. Let's see. There you go. All right, so let's see. First, we can kind of go over the new kind of plan. So I'm going to be streaming from now on a consistent basis. At least once per week is the target. If not, about 3 times a week. That's kind of the goal. So we'll see how it pans out, but at least once a week, absolute bare minimum. So that's going to be fun. Yep. Out here chatting up. But yeah, okay, so Punk Rider.
Yo, hello.
Yo, all right, so let's see. When we do the streams, right? How quick do you think how soon do you think we'll be able to hit like 10 concurrents? Like right now we're at 5. How quick do you think we'll be at 10?
Whenever Carnifex is awake.
based. Yeah, Carnifex is the stream goat, bruh. He gets everything going.
That's true, yeah. He's usually there chatting in every single one of your streams, I'm noticing.
True. Based. Yeah, Diamond's out here spitting. Whenever YouTube picks up, facts. All right, we're at 6. We're at 6 concurrents right now. Not bad. We need 4 more, then we'll be a party. Yo, thanks, Diamond. What's up, Master? All right, we're at 7 concurrents. Let's go. You're muted for life. It'd be like that. Nah, you gotta mic up every now and then. Come on.
Oh, what's good? Basically annoyance. Oh, let me unmute you, bro. All right.
Oh, I thought he was like a lurker for a second. I thought he was one of those people that just joins VC and is just always muted.
No, I just sent a message in the Discord as well. That's him.
Oh, okay. Crazy stream life. Dang, someone dipped. I bet it was basically annoyance. Hey,
I'm gonna get
chilling
muted
now.
again, man.
Based. Nah, oh, it wasn't him. Someone else left. All right. All right, let's see. So, all right. I think we can get to chatting. So, yo, Punk Rider. So you said you were. Wait, what the heck is up with the chat? All right. Oh, his friend dipped. All right. But yo, so Punk Rider. So you said you read a few philosophy books, right? Which one did you like the best? Of like the ones you read recently.
Hold on 1 second.
Bet.
I was just reading very basic ones from Plato. I read the 5 dialogues, Euthyphro, Apology, Credo, Manophaedo. And then I'm getting into Symposium, but that one seems the most interesting. Because it goes into what basically like love is, what beauty is. And the way the person, right, who like translated it and reviewed it at the beginning, like writes about it. He says that they go into homosexuality, which is just, I don't know, it seems absurd that, you know, even back then, it was like a big thing. And I'm just interested in what they have to say about that. They actually had really weird relationships. Back then, from what I remember, I even talked to Parrot about this. The philosophy teachers usually go after young men and they try to charm them. And the intention is basically that when they do the deed, like eventually, it's not actually about pleasure. It's a metaphorical act of the boy receiving knowledge from the pursuer, who's like now his man, I guess. I find that interesting.
That's so odd.
It is.
Yeah,
odd.
that's definitely pretty interesting. It's very odd, but
yeah,
interesting nonetheless. So
I also really liked Apology. I think it was very interesting because, like, it's called Apology because Socrates was, you know, what do you call it? He was gonna get imprisoned and then executed, and then he represented himself in the court. Right, he was his own lawyer, and before he started giving the actual speech, he gave like a meta speech about how he wants everybody to brace themselves for his unconventional speech and rhetoric. I really like that. He literally like goes on about how like everybody is going to get surprised by his methodology and his dialect. Because at that time, like, you know, the Socrates method, right? It's like, or the Socratic method. It's like questioning until you either get what you want or the other person you're questioning gets to like some presupposition that they can't really justify. That's usually how it goes.
right.
And I like that, how he was like presetting his rhetoric. That was good.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the thing that certain political people talk about today, and that's framing the debate, right? A lot of people will, including me and you, will tell people, you know, one of the best ways to ensure your own victory is to kind of give a framework for the debate before it even starts, to make sure that it's not just, you know, going on and it doesn't have certain guardrails that you may not be able to get past if it goes down that track, right? It's kind of similar to that in a way, except rhetorically instead of, say, holistically.
Yeah, setting up the rules for the rhetoric.
Yeah.
I guess, which is pretty cool. And then the last one, Phaedo. Oh my god, Phaedo was so good. Like, that was, you know, the portrayal of Socrates' death. From what I understand, not like the actual one, because it was like a fictional story made up by Plato to get his point across about the forms. But that one was just sad.
Right.
There is this one quote from this Socrates.
I get you later, Diamond.
Oh, later, Diamond. Where he's like, you know, he takes the poison given to him by the guard, and he feels his limbs go numb, and then his stomach, and then, you know, eventually, slowly his heart. And then he calls out Credo, his friend. He says, we owe a cock to this guy, right? Like a rooster. And the reason why he says that is because obviously at the time they had sacrifices, so they would give a rooster to this one guy who, from what I remember, I might be wrong, but I think he like used to own a church, and then it was a sign of thanks for him curing their illnesses. And then that was Socrates' way of basically telling Crito that life is ultimately cured by death because it's full of suffering. That was very good.
Yeah. That's solid. Hey, yo, can we get some more likes in the chat?
What's good, Ophis, Mordecai? To me, it says there are 10 viewers right now. What's up, everyone?
Oh, snap. It's funny, I'm looking on two different screens. On one screen, I see 11. On one screen, I see 12.
Oh, nice. I see 12 now.
Yeah. What's up, Ophis?
Not gonna say hi to Mordecai?
12. Yo, what's good, Mordecai?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not bad. Good viewers, good viewers. Yeah, someone dipped. L. It's alright. They don't want to learn philosophy. Take back your hyper, Mordecai. See, we got a pretty good chat size this time. Not bad.
Maybe it's worth coming back after all, huh, Cool Geek?
Facts. Big facts, bro. Hey, if I get chats like this and like bigger than this, bro, I might be here every single day. Like, hey. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so yeah, the cure to life is death, I think was the last thing was okay. Yeah, because it's full of suffering, right. Yeah. Yeah, perspective. Let's see.
Yo, Mordecai's going crazy in chat.
I know. I was getting like mind hacks because I was looking at the chat. I just see Mordecai going wild.
What is this?
Yeah, but let's see. What okay. So let's see. You said there were 3, and I think you said all 3 of them, right? It was. Can you give a quick recap of like the philosophy books? Like a quick recap of like the names of all of them?
Oh, firstly was the first 5. Euthyphro, Apology, Credo, Meno, Phaedo. And then
Nice.
last one I'm reading right now is Symposium.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I had a conversation a long time ago, probably in like 2019, and it was I was debating someone, and NIH ended up bringing up whether or not more like laws and morality are intertwined. I believe his phrasing was, "Did someone say that laws are based off of morality?" And he also said something else, but I forgot what he said. But no one said what he said. It was like something similar to what he said, but it wasn't exactly the same. And it was kind of funny because I wasn't that deep into philosophy yet versus what I did later on. But I remember one of the first things I ended up learning about the political philosophical intersection, let's call it, is that laws are in theory supposed to reflect morality, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, hopefully.
That yeah, I know. It was like really funny because I remember when he said that, I was like, wait, huh? Is that am I retarded? Like, is it like are laws not supposed to reflect morality? Like, no one said that, but I think that, like, but I didn't want to get derailed from the actual topic. But
yeah, I mean, it's nothing important here. Nothing surprising there.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it was really interesting. And the fact that these kind of questions involving, like, for example, homosexuality, in terms of what I would assume he wrote about in terms of a moral sense, is that accurate?
I don't think. Well, actually, from what I remember, maybe there's one character who disagrees with it, but like the rest of them agree with it. It's like a big, I think, like dinner they have, or dinner they have, sorry, where they like drink and just indulge. And then they talk about, apparently the topic of that comes up. As I said, I haven't read it, but I read like, the editor's notes at the beginning. And like he was hinting at one person like disagreeing with it and like arguing against it. And, that kind of implies like, well, okay, the rest, like 6 maybe people there probably all agree with doing it, right? Especially because it was, from what I understand, like a trend to be like bi.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so the fact that laws and morality and that sort of thing have always been intertwined, I think is really funny. And I guess for anyone watching who may hear some philosophical take or political take or something like that, and maybe it doesn't gel with you, maybe it does, right? But to kind of, even if it comes from someone who you think is reliable, definitely look at it with scrutiny. Don't just accept things like that. Otherwise, if I just would have accepted that and, like, I don't know, I started learning philosophy and I was like, no, my boy said this, yeah, my friend said X and I trust him. He's credible. Like, I probably would have had like that take forever, like that'd be terrible, right?
Well, like your friend's
definitely
opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Because back then, me and NIH were talking. That's back when we talked like every single day, pretty much. And so, I trusted him a lot. So, if he says something like, unless it's something like crazy, I would accept it. But, some people accept like literally everything their friends say, no matter what. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if I was like that, to where like, oh yeah, no matter what they say, it's like, yeah, I would have had a crazy take for like a really long time. But luckily, even if I know you, trust you, I always do look at everything through a lens of at least slight scrutiny. Like, okay, is this true? Like, even if it's something that I think you're right on, just, maybe you're not right, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially if you're in some debating spheres,
Facts.
You know how hard it is to be objectively correct.
Exactly, 100%. Dude, what about those guys that say debating skills don't help you in real life?
I don't know if they say that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, because at least the people in the chat that one day, I don't know if you remember this, but I was in the chat in, the server, when this stream is up, the replay is up, there'll be a link in the description. But when I was in the chat in the server one day and I brought up why debating has carryover to real life, I had mentioned that, having good rhetoric, being able to present and convince, and also just good argumentation, being able to formulate logical arguments, and how that can be helpful even outside of debate sphere, how it can help you. And, some people were really reluctant to that, It was really odd.
Yeah, it was
there we
weird.
go.
I don't know if they Did they
I just
straight
wanted
up
to mention
say that they disagree?
Yeah, they did. At least a couple people. By the way, I just want to bring attention to the link to the server. It's now pinned in the live chat. But yeah, some people did just straight up disagree, and they pointed to either people that just did not have very good rhetoric, or just specific niche cases, or just not even just not good rhetoric, but just bad in general. Like, they brought up people that weren't good at the things I was talking about and said, like, yeah, if you did that, it wouldn't help you. And it's like, but those guys aren't good, dude. Like, those guys, like, unanimously are considered terrible, or at least not good, right? Like, either average or bad.
It's ironic
like,
to me when people who don't debate have, like, opinions on debating. Because, like, they have no idea what it is. Because if they were, like, even just decent at debating, they, wouldn't have brought up those examples. Like, I don't know, like Halting. It's like, oh, well, Halting sounds like an idiot. It's like, yeah, Halting is an idiot. Maybe don't bring him up as an example, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many people who are, people that are not retarded you could bring up, and then you bring up, an example of a known idiot in the community. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why people do that.
Yeah. And, to me, that implies that the guy who brought up Halting is, like, I don't know, worse than Halting.
True.
Or somewhat, like, relative.
Yeah, that's a good point. Right, yeah. That's a good point, yeah. In order to bring up Halting for why debate skill doesn't help you, you have to think that he has good debate skill, right? You have to have, like, the same level of skill even to bring him up as an example, if not worse. So yeah, holy crap, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Wait, but it's so weird because from my perspective, it's also like, it's not hard to find good debaters, right? So you can just look them up, right? And to say that those skills don't help you, like, think about how many, like, Ben Shapiro destroys videos are online. Think about how Ben Shapiro has this, like, multi-million-dollar organization that he has off of sheer debate skill, essentially. Like, his knowledge, argumentation, and rhetoric carries his business. You can't make this up. And then they're like, oh, well, I don't think it'll help you. Like, I don't know, man. To help Ben Shapiro make millions of dollars,
Yeah, but then, they would say, like, well, you're not a Ben Shapiro, though. It's like, they would say, like, in general, they would, like, shift the premise a bit.
Yeah, they definitely would. Yeah, but then I would just go down the line of reasoning of, well, there are people that aren't as good as Ben Shapiro that maybe don't make as much as he does or aren't as successful, but it definitely helps. I always like the salesman example, not even car salesman, but just salesman in general. I bring up, like, lawyers, all that jazz. The example that you brought up of the guy we know, I don't know if we can say it on stream, if we can say who it is on stream, but how he, like, literally learned Discord debating and then became a politician and successful IRL.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's true,
so, like,
debating on a college and like, about laws, like, what the fuck? Like, that's so crazy. And I heard he changed, like, a law or two in his city.
Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, and I don't see how that's not more obvious. Like, just the premise of, like, okay, politicians exist, right? Ben Shapiro is at this crazy level to where he's like literally world renowned. And it's like, okay, think about all the guys to where they're, they're pretty famous, like, I don't know, in their state or maybe even just city, right? Like maybe you don't know them outside of their city, but nonetheless, they're still city famous. Like those guys are still wildly successful. And most people that aren't in their city have no clue who they are. And it's like, yeah, like maybe you won't be a Ben Shapiro, but maybe you can be politician number 63 who still makes like hundreds of thousands of dollars from their campaigns and whatnot, So, and even just normal sales jobs, like I still think that's a pretty powerful argument, like, oh yeah, I literally sell things. Okay, is anyone gonna buy from me when I'm talking like this? Like no one's gonna buy from you if you're like you approach them to sell your product, or maybe they come in to buy your product into your building and you're like whispering and you don't sound confident, you seem like a little shady, like like that just doesn't track, right? You have to have good presenting, convincing skills and stuff like that. And if someone needs to have a reason, because some people will say they won't buy something, and you could literally just give them an argument for why they should buy it, and then they just will, right? If they have the money, but they're just kind of on the fence about buying it. So I don't know how people can make the claim that it's not important. I mean, even job interviews, right? Having good presentations helps you at job interviews. If you speak clearly, concisely, if you're like friendly, if you're good, like all those things carry over. And heck, even the pack debaters have their place, right? Because especially because a lot of these people in the debate community are still in high school and whatnot. If someone pulls up to you and you're just kind of like quiet and you don't say anything and they just scream at you, you're just gonna get bullied. Like I don't know what else to say. Versus if they they start trying to like roast you, but like as cringe as this might sound, you're like a Discord packer, and you start roasting them and you make everyone laugh, and everyone thinks the person who started roasting you is getting roasted back worse, right? Like that can help you. So I definitely think even the example of what you'd usually say is a bad representation of debating, even that can help you in certain ways, right? Especially if you're on the younger side.
Yeah, I mean, even just in a void, debating doesn't help. Learning how to counter someone logically doesn't help. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
I think that take is hard to defend.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Whoa. Nah. I'm not Drake. Chill out. Nah. Let's see. Overall, though, I think that whenever people trash on intellectual hobbies, generally it comes from a place of like massive ignorance on a general level, anyway. Let me see. Elijah said, I think debating also especially helps with just learning how to think for yourself, because it teaches you to actually look at what the other person is saying and not just take it at face value. Yeah, 100%.
Nice. Yeah, Elijah, you're correct.
I bet. Let's see. Yeah, Elijah is definitely correct. Yeah, I also think it's pretty interesting that people completely ignore the aspect of gaining knowledge. All right, Punk Rider said he's gonna dip for a minute, but let me see. Do you guys enjoy playing Devil's Advocate when did that say conversing a topic yourself or with friends? Also, hi. What's up, Rika? Yeah, so I actually do. I really do, because so one of the first really good debate lessons that I learned was, in order to know a topic inside and out, you have to be familiar with the opposing side to yours. And the guy basically used as an example how he knows the opposite political views better than a lot of the people who have them, and he can argue them better. And I've heard a couple guys around that time when I was learning this say that. And even now, a lot of guys, like over the years, it hasn't really changed. Anyone who is, I would say, sufficiently competent to a certain level is aware of the other side's arguments to a really good degree. Because, yeah, if you have a position on something, literally anything, let's just say it's whether or not you should train 3 days a week lifting weights or 5 days a week lifting weights, just as an example, right? And, you know, it's like, oh, well, I want to train 5 days a week. Okay, why? Do you know the pros and cons of lifting 3 days a week, right? Do you know how that would affect you? Because if you don't know how lifting 3 days a week would affect you, then you don't really know if 5 days a week is better or not, right? You need the context of both things in order to make a decision on one. And so for me, I'll play devil's advocate for multiple reasons. It depends. When we're discussing normally, usually I'm extremely upfront about, like, okay, yeah, this is like a devil's advocate argument. Let me know what you think about this, right? And, you know, I'll say an argument, either something I've known for a minute or, you know, something that I came up with right then. Because, again, if you don't know the other side like the back of your hand, I don't think you know your side well enough, right? It's kind of like confirmation bias, right? If you only look at one half of the evidence and form a conclusion on that, well, it's a half-made conclusion, right? And yeah, with myself, it's basically the same thing, because I want to go through every argument for and against, because if there's an argument that I don't bring up against my position and someone else brings it up just as an example to convince me, just even outside of the debate sphere, right? Someone comes to me with an argument that I didn't think about in my head. Well, now I don't know what to say. I'm like, oh, maybe they're right. I don't know. You know, versus if I sit down, I think about my position and I think about the devil's advocate stance, you know, maybe they're right, you know, maybe they're just correct, but then maybe they're not, maybe they're wrong. And I can think of if there's a counter to, you know, whatever devil's advocate argument I came up with, or maybe I heard someone else use, you know? Right. Yeah. Mordecai brought up a great example in the chat, right? Sorry, not whether, this guy named Cliff, I don't know how many people know who that is, but there's this Christian debater named Cliff that will learn other religions so that he can be able to argue against them more effectively, right? So he doesn't make the mistake that a lot of other people make when arguing religions and whatnot. And that's very important, because let's say you're a Christian trying to debunk the Muslim religion, but you don't know anything about it. Well, how are you going to debunk it? You don't know it, right? And vice versa. If you're a Muslim and you don't know the Bible, it's like, okay, how are you going to debunk it? You don't know anything about it, right? And that goes with every topic, right? And that's a perfect example. What do I think is the most important thing you can use in debates? So it's kind of hard because rhetoric, knowledge, and argumentation are obviously the big three. But I would say your rhetoric is probably the most important, because if no one listens to you and they don't know what your argument is, or they don't know what knowledge is in your head, then you're not going to convince anyone, and they're going to be extra resistant to you. Yeah. Yeah, so I would definitely say rhetoric, but I would say argumentation and knowledge are they're up there as well, but rhetoric takes it just by a tad. Let's see. I enjoy with what you're saying. I enjoy looking into the opposite view to better understand both my own side and why they believe the opposite of what I do. Thanks for the in-depth insight. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I love questions like that, and I love giving in-depth answers. Yeah, and also playing devil's advocate is a good tool for sharpening your tools in general. Like in discussions, it helps, and debating devil's advocate is also really good. It just gives you more opportunities to use the skills of presenting and formulating arguments, and it's an extra challenge, right? How can you present and explain and formulate this argument that you disagree with in the best way possible, right? Are you going to be debating more in the power scaling server? Yes, 100%. I'm going to be debating in there a lot more in the next few days, even. Probably in a couple days, I'm going to have a debate. Let's see. Indeed, because if you understand what the opposition is thinking, you can set traps and formulate your arguments more concisely, or more coherently. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Yeah, knowing what your opponent is thinking is always a plus in debating. That's why even something like psychology can help you as well. Anything that helps you get into your opponent's head is always good. Yeah, the upcoming debates in the power scaling server are going to be fun. And by the way, I'm going to be recording them and streaming them as well. So there's going to be a lot of debate streams coming soon. I mentioned at the start of the stream that I'll be streaming at least once a week, probably more like 3 times a week. And yeah, I'm going to do some of those streams. At least some of them are going to be debate streams. So look forward to that. Yeah, let's see. What would I say is more important to start as a debater if someone is interested? So to start, I would say confidence. 100%. Number one would be being confident to A, just talk to people, and B, to ask questions and learn. People, the biggest confidence hurdle I would say people have is they don't have the confidence to ask questions. So, an example of this would be people will start debating. Two people will debate, and someone will say something the other person doesn't know about. And the person will be too insecure about their own lack of knowledge to the point where they won't ask what the person's talking about. And if you don't ask what the person's talking about, you're not going to know unless you just figure it out somehow with like maybe context clues or something. But if you're worried about your own intelligence, maybe don't try to just figure it out. Maybe just ask what it is, and then like what's the worst thing they can do? Try to like make fun of you or something. But then you can just say, oh, well, I would be the dumb one to not ask something I don't know. Like, I'm not omniscient. I'm not God, right? And that pretty much always works. And even if you do look dumb, bro, who cares? You're getting smarter by asking the question. It's like, would you rather look dumb and be dumb, but get better, or look dumb, be dumb, and stay dumb forever, right? Because if you don't ask questions and you don't have the confidence to just ask simple questions about, the topic, or about maybe debating as a whole, even like maybe they say some debate terminology and you just don't know that term because you're new to debating, just ask the question. And that, I would say, is definitely the most important thing, is people are afraid to ask questions and also just start debating. Like, they just need more confidence to start debating and to gain knowledge in debates, like mid-debate. Yeah, the fear of looking dumb is one of the things that holds debaters back the most. Heck, people in general, but debaters specifically. Yeah, then after that, I would say, like, become better at speaking clearly, concisely, and formulate arguments better, as well as gain knowledge on whatever topic you want to do. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Understanding the different debate terms. And it's kind of weird because a lot of these things overlap, like rhetoric, argumentation, and knowledge. They all kind of have overlapping things. But yeah, I would definitely say different debate terminology. And that would fall under the sort of knowledge slash argumentation and a little bit of rhetoric as well, because if you know the terminology, it just appears better.
Actually
Yeah, I
debating
think.
and doing debate reviews. What about that?
Oh yeah, actually
Like the
debating in
confidence
debate
thing.
reviews.
It just stops people
Yeah.
from even debating.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned that, but yeah, we could definitely go more in depth on that, because a lot of people underestimate like the power of sheer experience, just grinding for XP. And yeah, people that are afraid and don't have the confidence to start, obviously, if you never start, you never get the experience and you don't gain that skill from that experience. So yeah, it's definitely a really massive hindrance.
Yeah, and then because I was thinking like, just debate. But it's like, okay, well, what about the hall things? Where they like debate all day long for like 7 years and they're still just as bad. Well, yeah, you actually need to do debate reviews and then do training outside of debating. Right? So like you can get better at debating without actually debating, and that's also important.
Yeah, 100%. Like, a good example would be how if you take a normal person, just a random person off the street, and you get like a public speaker, but the public speaker doesn't debate ever, like ever, right? The public speaker will still have a massive, massive advantage over like Billy Joe from the gas station, right? Because they've practiced the skill of speaking and presenting to people for, potentially, thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. So yeah, studying logic, practicing presenting, just learning about presenting in general, all that good stuff. Gaining knowledge. Yeah, gaining, like, there's a bunch of people who will debate. They'll get to a certain level and they might stagnate, and maybe they'll still debate, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just go on like a month-long debate hiatus and just learn debating. And I actually did that one time. I'm not going to give too much context, but I remember one time, this was back during like the Godspeed rivalry era. Shout out to anyone who remembers that. But
Yeah, who remembers that?
yeah. But back in those days, me and Godspeed had debated, I believe, 4 times, I think, at that point. And I think we were, what was it? We were at like, I think we were at 2. I think I had 2 losses to Godspeed, 1 win, and like a weird contextual draw. And I went on this like, now to be fair, uphill topics, but we move. And after I went on that like hiatus, I don't even remember how long it was. It was either like 2 weeks or a month or something along those lines. And after the comeback, I literally beat him twice in one day, like badly. Like the debates were not close, right? Like at all. One of them is actually on the channel. And the other one, he didn't want me to record. It was in his private server, but not trying to hit the Godspeed exposed video, but it was in his private server. He wanted to debate me where I didn't have any power because I don't know. He was making up in his head that I won for having power that I didn't have. I don't know. It's really weird, but yeah, like we debated the second time, and yeah, I beat him. Yeah, he literally showed a scan, right? He gave evidence for one of his claims, and I argued his evidence better than he could, right? I literally explained what was happening in his scan better than he could, and he lost because of that. And, every aspect pretty much of my debate skill went up when I literally didn't debate for like a month. And I just learned about debating for said month. Let's see, Elijah, I feel like one of the main problems is that people don't want to be disciplined and learn to debate, but rather are only fueled off motivation to debate. So eventually just give up on it entirely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's so many of those guys. Oh yeah, I'm motivated. I want to debate. And then they start debating. They probably lose a bunch because they just started. Everyone loses when they just started. Like when I first started, I went on like a crazy losing streak of like some insane number of debates before I started getting good. And like because of that, they get like demotivated because they lose, and then they quit. So
yeah, I did that.
It's really weird. Yeah. So yeah, and then a lot of people don't get back on the horse like you did. You just eventually started debating again, but for some reason, a lot of people don't do that. Like they quit and then they just stay not debating for some reason. It's the strangest thing. I think that's for everything. That might be a little challenging. Yeah, for sure. Bro, when I started, I lost to Nathan, but I got better and won 2 times after. We just got to keep trying and have fun doing so. Exactly, 100%. Yeah, that's one thing I agree with, like, completely and entirely. Just enjoy the process, like, get better, enjoy doing it for doing it, and for the skills, honestly, right? Enjoy the fact that you're improving your speaking, you're improving your ability to formulate logical arguments, and you're improving your knowledge. Hopefully all 3 things, but at least one thing should be going up over time, and you should be happy for that. It also helps if you have little milestones and a big goal. Exactly, 100%. Yeah, I remember I remember back in the Parrot server days, I remember that I said that if I got to field hand level in the rankings, that I would be fine with like retiring. And yeah, no, but that
You're a
was a good
clown
goal.
for it.
It was a really good goal. Oh yeah, that was a clown statement, but I can't even believe I said that. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Yo, Raiko,
But
is Nate still around? Is he alive? Hmm.
yeah, but I would definitely say pushing towards that goal did make me better, regardless of like the whole retiring part being retarded. But it holistically, it was definitely a good goal to that. Just getting to that level was a good goal that pushed me forward really well. Rip, we got to get Nate back, bruh.
Do we?
No, we don't. But
Yeah.
hey, maybe we do. We don't, but maybe there's a possible world where getting Nate back is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The nerdiest statement of all time.
The question is, when is Coogie coming back to debating?
Facts. Someone actually asked that already. But yeah, definitely. I think it was when you were gone. They asked, but yeah, for sure. In the next like couple days, I'm definitely pulling back up, especially with
days.
stream numbers like this. I got to get consistent 10 people the whole time. Right now, we're kind of hovering at 9 most of the time, but we got to get like 10 plus people on stream.
No, that's fair. Yeah. I
Yeah,
see why you're saying that. You need the watch time for monetization.
facts. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull up and stream debates and just have debates in general, stream them, whatnot, have fun discussions. Let's see. Yeah, because you get those little hits of dopamine from accomplishment, so you keep giving to your main goal. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, get those small wins, get those little dopamine hits that'll keep you going. It's always good. Let's see. Do you still scale Pokemon? I remember you were one of the people that taught me the multi-plus scaling long ago. I do not anymore, actually. Maybe I should get back into it. I don't know. I gotta see how, because currently, right now, I'm a little bit picky with like what I scale. And I've been working a lot on Naruto because I'm gonna be posting a lot of Naruto videos. I did some One Punch Man stuff because there's also gonna be a One Punch Man related video that's gonna be posted when the long form vids start going up. But when I get a little more time, probably after I get monetized, I'll check out Pokemon again and see what I can do. Naruto, yup, you know it. But let's see. Is there any? Oh wait, what is this? After you should definitely scale DC. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do some DC stuff. I actually have a guy who is really good at DC who agreed to help me out with some content and stuff like that. So I'll definitely do some really fun DC content, especially Flash related, because Flash solos. But you know, that's a topic for another day. I hope everything works out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, if you keep showing up to my streams, then everything will go okay for sure. Let's see. Cool Geek is a flash tard since day one, but we move. Let's see. Let's test out this poll feature. So let's see. What should we put? Oh. Do you like debating? I think is what we should ask.
Wait,
I
what?
think that's a good one. Yeah, I think we should test out the poll feature. So, do you like debating? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Never used that feature before. Oh, that's how it shows up. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a pointless poll, but whatever.
Yeah. I just kind of want to see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, if y'all could like respond to the poll just to like let me see how it works because I've never used it before. Yeah, it is. It really is. But no, you'd be surprised because I did a poll one time on just like the community tab, and you'd be surprised how many people said no. Or not even that they don't like it, but they just don't do it. Which is pretty ironic because back in the day, my debate videos would get more views than my like normal scaling videos most of the time, even though most people didn't debate, I'm pretty sure.
That's so funny. But they don't like debating.
Right, it's the weirdest thing. Based. Mordecai spitting facts. But nah, both is the real answer. Let's see. um let's see. Facts. See, Elijah's spitting facts, bro. That's probably the most based thing said in the entire chat. See, you gotta know debating. That way you win in the ring and in the mind. Yup. Be physically and intellectually superior. Yeah, it's always the way to go. Nah, you. Let's see. Yep, you gotta improve your power level and your mind's power level. But hey, even Master Roshi in original Dragon Ball had Goku and Krillin learning to read and do math, so hey. Not that Goku remembered any of that, but you know, we move. Exactly. Yeah, Goku wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, ended up forgetting everything from his lessons. So, let's see. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to make sure, by the way, when kind of back to the debating and me, when I do stream the debates, I'll try to make sure they're good topics so that they're more interesting as well. But hey, sometimes you just gotta throw hands intellectually, so you know.
There's a guy in general chat saying he wants to learn debating.
Oh, tell him to hop on stream and ask some questions.
That would be cool. Yeah. Hold on.
Ah, okay. He said he'll pull up later.
I see.
Nice, nice. Let's see. By the way, I think streams like this are kind of a W because it's more personalized towards viewer interaction. Facts. Yeah, you're spitting. I'll probably do this quite a bit, not gonna lie. Yeah, this will probably be the guaranteed stream. Like, if nothing else, I'll just do this, you know, once a week at least. Let me see. Hold up. I missed a Ryko chat. Gonna do. Hold up. My eyes are like bugging out. Let me see. Oh, Mewtwo versus Shadow. That sounds pretty interesting. I don't know. I might have to do like a community tab poll on that one. Punk Rider, do you know any Sonic scalers?
No, bruh.
Yeah, me neither. No, we gotta get Fuzzy back, bro. The best Sonic scaler. All right, so Pankaraida-san. So when it comes to debating people, like just random people, right? If you have one thing that you can give as advice to someone who's never debated before that wants to have their first debate, what is your advice?
Bro, no. No, it's always contextual, bro. It's always contextual. Like I feel like for people in this server, for example, which we're in right now, you know, link in the description and the stream, but a lot of people are like very, very insecure. So it's like, you know, maybe have a good first debate. Like, just don't mind if you lose. Like, have it in a private server. Maybe literally have it against like your mom or dad and just lose.
That's based.
So that you're not gonna get like confidence nerfed. But then again, I had my first debate privately and I lost and I got my confidence nerfed. So, you know, maybe if you're that archetype, like you could over prepare for your first debate and like guarantee to win. Like, you know, you could pick someone who like you know is worse than you.
Yeah, that could definitely work.
Yeah. Because it is usually a confidence thing, man, especially at that level.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Mordecai said, what would help someone's debate skills when they are up against someone using goon tactics? You want to pop off first, Punk Rider?
Oh. I mean, be open to it, I guess.
Ooh, like that's not a bad one.
Like, a lot of people are not open to ratting. So they'll just assume you will lose because you're using goon tactics. And that's like not how it works, right? Like, that's what makes people like Ask Yourself bad debaters. And that's why people like that, you know, just get like shit stomped by Noodles. Noodles is good,
Facts.
but it's like, bruh, maybe Ask Yourself could have won, you know? If you actually engaged in that. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like, be open to it. Like, someone says something utterly idiotic in a debate, like, just, yeah, treat it as an actual argument, man.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the old sort of mindset of if someone says something idiotic and you can't debunk it, that's on you. So definitely, I think that's some really good advice is be open to the fact that even bad arguments are still arguments that need to be addressed. This is one of the reasons why I feel like a lot of people that are bad in that way are also a lot of the times have similarities to the people that will have, I would say, logical problems in real life. That is to say that, you know, someone will say something crazy, but they'll care about that person, you know, like, I don't know, not necessarily like you know, like in like super deeply, but, you know, it'll be like, oh yeah, you know, like I have a friend who, you know, does this, right? Maybe not a super close friend, but still a friend. So like they care, but maybe not that much. And it's like, okay, you know, can you explain to him why he should quit being like, I don't know, like a bar hopper or something, right? Stop being an alcoholic. because if you can't even explain why something that's idiotic is idiotic, that's not good, right? Because if it's idiotic to you, it might not be idiotic to them as well. So if we're talking about IRL carryover, I definitely agree. Even just raw debate skill wise, that's really important. Just in every aspect, being open to these crazy arguments and engaging with them is really, really OP. Yeah. And then in addition, I would probably say going up against sort of rat tactics people is going down the chain and having the knowledge and argumentation to go deep into topics, because one of the things that people do that is a lot of the time considered goon is just meta debating a lot and just going really, really deep into the topic. But you should have foundational knowledge of topics so that you can still win at those foundational fundamental levels as well.
Edgar,
Yo, the GOAT.
debater.
Yo, what's good, Edgar? Also, hi, debater, I guess. But yeah, what's poppin', debater? I did. Yeah, Punk Rider's here. Yeah, of course, debater left. It's all right though.
Oh my god. Get jumped, Cookie.
Yo, what's good, debater?
Bruh, how dare y'all not let me in, bruh? It's craziness.
What do you mean not let you in? You're in right now.
I had to ask for it, but anyway,
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
sorry. But anyway, let me be serious. So what's the topic of conversation?
Let's see. So we were talking about things that debaters that are new to debating can do against people who do goon tactics.
Oh, wow. Funnily enough, I am facing a goon tactic myself. So where have y'all started?
All right, if you have something, go ahead, debater. Pop off.
Let me see. All right. Honestly, a lot of times when people are dealing with goon tactics, is that like the weakness in their goon tactic is often, if not in their words themselves, especially if you're debating fiction, it's usually like in their scans themselves. Because oftentimes what people will do is that they will say a goon tactic, right? They'll speak it, they'll say it to make it sound good. But like, because the people that make the fiction they're debating aren't goons, right? Well, for the most part. I don't know who made SCP. They might be goons. But for the most part, right? But for the most part, they're not goons. So they're not making the series with that in mind. So oftentimes, like, reading the person's scans and finding the flaws within their narrative, usually is what's needed to help against someone who's using goon tactics, because that's usually what it is. Because the person might be using goon tactics, but most of the time their series aren't goons, so they're gonna like have stuff that makes sense. Especially like if you like look up their arguments, look up their scans, and find what it actually says instead of like the narrative they're trying to pin. That usually helps when going up against goon tactics.
W. Yo,
Read the scan,
Goji,
bruh.
what's poppin'?
Bro, listen, read the scans. Look, honest to God, it really is help, because some people, they'll get like a goon tactic, and they'll be like so mesmerized by or stupefied by what the person is saying that they get so focused on what the person is saying that they don't look at, they don't look at what their is saying. Like that is like a case that happens often. They get mesmerized by what they're saying because to them it sounds like so insane and so crazy or stupid, depending on who you are,
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Goji?
What's up, Goji? Good text. I don't think he can hear us.
Yo, Goji, I heard like a sound that came from your mic.
He's making.
I can hear you all. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't think I've met this Goji before.
Oh, he's a fan of Godzilla.
He does not sound like what I thought he sounds like, so I don't know if we're talking similar.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
Don't
Okay,
worry
cool,
about it. Oh man. Okay, so all right, so Cool Geek. Since you are a goon, right? What are your thoughts on the whole gooner tactic thing?
You weren't here. You kind of missed it. Okay, so I gave some stuff already. It was kind of piggybacking off of what Punk Rider said. I'm pretty sure, but like what we already went over was address the argument, because a lot of people. One example is Ask Yourself against Noodles, to where they don't view the goon argument as something that they need to address. So they lose argumentatively to something that's retarded, simply because they just ignored the argument, right? And so I agreed with that. And also I had said, this is sort of thing that I sort of said initially, but it's going down the argument chain, because a lot of what people consider goon tactics is literally just arguing more in depth in the topic, right? So if you can go as in depth as possible, they can't go more in depth than you, right? They try to go more in depth, and then you could just do that, but better, right? Just have better fundamental knowledge and be able to argue with that fundamental knowledge.
Yeah, that does make sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else would you recommend to somebody who's dealing with goon tactics?
Let's see. I don't know. You might have came before I said anything else, but let's see. So, in addition to that, I would say.
Sorry, one quick thing. Look what Mordecai just said in the chat, bro. Before you continue.
Yep. I mean, big lizard, outer versal lizard, outer versal weight. GG's.
Like, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, but so let me see. What was I on about? So when it comes to like debating a lot of people with goon tactics, it also depends on the archetype, right? Are we dealing with the meta debater that just argues more meta? Are we dealing with someone who just says something that's argumentatively not valid, right? Is it dealing with someone who scans, doesn't say what they say they do, and they're just like lying or something? Like, what are we dealing with, right? Because I think, or in
the case of ISK, for example, it's all of the above except the meta debating.
Based, yeah. So like, yeah, it kind of depends, right? And then some people, one of their tactics, POV me to debater in the past, is like, yeah, just make them mad. And then in that case, like, yeah, just don't get mad, like GG's. Or just be logical when you're mad. Because what happens with a lot of people is, you make them mad and they forget how to think, right?
No, when they're mad, they just start thinking rationally and illogical and all that.
Yeah. So like, because of course, when I say forget how to think, I don't mean in like a literal sense, right? I mean in the sense that they don't think to the level that they would normally. So if you can maintain your level of thinking while being mad, that's also a good thing to be able to do, but not being mad is plan one. Plan B would be like, yeah, just be able to think just as well when mad as when not, which is really hard But if you can do it, or at least think better than your opponent, that's the name of the game. Just think better than your opponent when you're mad. So
Let me see.
yeah, it's also good.
Who gets mad but doesn't get worse? I think like Arrow is an example of that. He gets mad but doesn't get worse.
Right? Yeah. Hey, my boy Dracon Tard, let's go.
Mm.
But yeah, like, bro, try the strat of making Arrow more mad, bro. You're just getting destroyed. Like, it's like it went from bad to worse.
He's like the Incredible Hulk. The angrier he gets, the better he gets.
Facts. So yeah, like that's a good example. It's like he unironically probably gets better when he's mad. So yeah, there's people who do embody the things that we're kind of saying. Is like one of my things is I just try not to get mad, and then if I am, I try to keep cool in terms of my logical thinking. And then Arrow just gets better when he's mad. When it comes to people going in depth, I try to be able to go more in depth than anyone. And yeah, what else was said? Like, read the scans. That's just an axiom for me. Like, yeah, read the scan. And yeah, be open to it, obviously. That's also one of my axioms. Like, yeah, it just is something you should always do. Address every argument, no matter what.
Yeah, that is something that is important. Although sometimes people will like post like 50 or so scans, so people don't want to read all of them. That has happened before.
That is true. But at that point, it's like, okay, stop shotgunning me. And we're not going to move on until we addressed all of your scans. And, I would go with it like that. It's like, don't post any scans until I go through these ones. Because if I debunk these, we don't need to go forward anymore.
This is how I've had 5-hour debates.
Yup. Hey, you and me both, bruh.
Oh my god.
Alright, the 5-hour debate is crazy.
Actually, Geek, how about this, right?
Yo.
How would you go about, debating somebody who you think is better than you?
Who I think is better than me. So it's okay. So it's kind of interesting because there's not that big of a gap between when I debate someone who's relative versus someone better, but I'm definitely a lot more willing to take more time on each individual argument and go in depth and pick their brains on every single thing, because usually what ends up happening when someone's better than you. Okay, so there's a couple different categories, right? There's sort of 3 categories, right? There's being better rhetorically, being better argumentatively, and then being better knowledge-wise. And then obviously there's different combinations of 2 or all of the above, right? And now if someone's better than you rhetorically, you gotta have like rhetoric resistance, as funny as that may sound, but you have to be able to concentrate and look towards the actual substance of what they're saying and not get convinced by them, or be able to formulate something that is going to convince them. But as far as rhetoric goes, just have a resistance to it for the most part, and also be able to learn what they're doing, observe how they're speaking. Why are they convincing you? Why are they so convincing? Is it the way that they're clear in what they're saying? Maybe you're like a mumble debater, right? Maybe when you talk, you're just kind of mumbling, right? Like maybe you're not super clear, you mumble.
I don't know who
maybe
mumbles. I don't meet a lot of people who do that.
You don't? In betweener?
I think someone wants to debate Coogie.
It's just fucking in between.
Oh, did someone say they wanted to debate?
The man has
Yeah,
a
see
heavy
someone
tongue.
in general.
Okay.
He says Saitama above Asta, JJBA, JJK, Naruto, and Deku. And basically Annoying says, well, first, why do you go Saitama above them? His
Saitama?
reason? Cause that's literally all he says.
No, he said
Okay.
talk about it in a debate. Like, let's be, he said.
Oh, snap. Okay. I mean, I'm down. Well, I could like debate him, but I do want to kind of wrap up what I was going to say real quick. So when it comes to, someone who's better, it's like you have to figure out what makes them good rhetorically, if that is what it is. So it's like, okay, maybe they're more clear, right? Maybe their clarity is what's getting through, right? Maybe I need to be more clear. Maybe I need to focus on saying the words more clearly and concisely, right? Maybe what it is the way they emphasize certain words and really drive in what they're trying to get across with their emphasis, right? Maybe that's what they're doing. So you have to learn it, hopefully try to integrate it. Maybe not now, mid debate, although maybe, but at least eventually try to integrate what they do, and argumentatively just try to track the argument. This is why argumentative tracking is so important, right? Being able to, okay, what argument is he making? What was his last argument? Okay, because what happens a lot of the time with high level arguments is people with really, really high level argumentation can link current arguments to past arguments better than a lot of people that aren't at that level, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I said something 5 minutes ago. You forgot. I didn't forget, right? So I can bring that up. So if it's the inverse, I know that they might have said something earlier that they might use against me later. Or if I said something in the past that may contradict one of my future arguments, so I don't want to do that, right? So I'm hyper aware of my own arguments and theirs. I try to track as well as humanly possible what he said 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, right? And then what I said. And I try to keep track of that so that A, he can't try to pull something and say that I said something I didn't, or say, see, he said something that he didn't, but at the same time, so that I won't say anything that contradicts my previous arguments, right? Or, maybe I'll try to shut down an argument that he's making that he set up previously. I won't let him continue the setup, right? Now, if they're better, there's only so much you can do to not lose, but being aware of everything being said can allow you to think about it later so that you can be able to do similar things or stop similar things from happening in future debates. And then knowledge-wise, just ask about everything, bro. Like, that's, for me, probably the easiest archetype to go against within reason if they're better than me is the knowledge archetype, because I'm a pretty good learner. So what ends up happening is, they bring up something, I have no idea what they're talking about. I just tell them. This is what I was kind of saying earlier about asking questions, not being afraid to ask and learn mid debate for the fear of looking dumb. Like, I'll look dumb right now in order to be smart 10 minutes from now, any day of the week, right? So, if they have way more knowledge than me, asking the questions, okay, so this character can do this. Did you know that? Yeah, I can get the scan. Yes, please give me the scan. Why did he do that? What was the context? What are the limits? Ask 10 questions. Like, some people might even feel that it's an unreasonable amount of questions, but it is reasonable because I don't know what you're talking about and I have to learn it right now on the spot, right? And that's sort of the last thing. And then, of course, just combining those when it comes to people that are better in 2 out of the 3 ways, or God forbid, all 3 of the ways, trying not to get mind hacked by the rhetoric, trying to track the argumentation and learn everything they're saying that's completely foreign. Like, it's really hard, but it's something you have to try to do and allow that to sort of make you better later, right? Because even if you don't get that much better in the moment, later on you will.
Like, let me ask. So, all of that is good as well, but something I've seen work is this, right? So, I'm not going to tell the person's names, but it's 2 people that I saw debating, right? And one guy was winning, right? Like, it wasn't dominantly, but he was winning. Like, everybody around him thought, okay, this guy is winning. So, what the other guy did to win was this. So the other guy planted traps, right? He planted like traps, and hey, do you agree to this and this and the third? And the other guy was like, yeah. So, and he left those traps alone for like at least 40 minutes. And then the minute he believed that he was starting to lose, because he then brought up those traps he brought up in the beginning of the debate and being like, hey, do you remember when you agreed to this? And then you agreed to this, that, and the third. Well, your argument can't work because you already agreed to this. So my shit would already inherently be above everything you just did in the first place. And he pretty much used a tactic like that to win. despite the fact that he was essentially losing for like 50 minutes straight, you know?
Oh my
He
god!
used
Wait,
that
50? Like 5-0?
5-0. Like, okay, he wasn't getting stomped out, but he was like clearly like it was a fight. Like, you know, they were going back and forth, but he was clearly not really winning for like 50 minutes straight.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
pretty
like
wild.
it's not really a beatdown, but it's like a genuine, obvious fact he was losing, and he
Yeah,
still
like
outsmarted him.
yeah, like they're being beat. Like for anybody who's like knows the UFC, this is like Dricus and like and Strickland, right? Like, you know, whoever you have winning, like there wasn't being stomped out, but whoever you had was winning. You know, you can clearly see that they was winning. You know, like you can tell that they were winning. Not super dominantly, they weren't getting stomped out, but they were clearly winning. And that happened here, and that happened for like 50 minutes. And
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 he
he
just
used
basically pulled a
this guy
900
like
IQ move.
pretty much. So he pretty much used the traps that he laid at the start, and then brought them back out, and then he used his own skill with the traps and the combination of the other guy accepting what he said, and he used all of that to win. That's an example of someone beating someone who was being better than you, as an example.
That has to be the best way to win a debate, nonetheless. 900 IQ at the start.
Yeah. So what do you think about that one, Cookie? About that using
Yeah,
traps?
I definitely think that's good. It's kind of funny though, because when I think about traps, I think of that being kind of like when I said before, when I said argumentatively, you have to have good tracking because they'll bring up something at the beginning of the debate and use it, right? And that's kind of what I was talking about, right? I was talking about traps, right? So using them is good. If they're better, but not substantially, it could definitely work. But what I would also say is when you're dealing with substantial gaps, it starts to become less and less reliable because depending on the level, to be fair, right? Depending on how good both
It also
people are.
depends on the debater too. It also
Well,
depends on
that's
the
kind of what I was
debater.
saying, depending on the level, right? Because if both guys are relative, but they're relatively bad, you know what I mean? Then it's it's really easy to kind of pull off like a fluky trap. Now, if they're both really good, and it's now like, okay, both of them probably have really, really good tracking. A trap still could get through, but it's less likely. And if there's a
case, right? Like in that case, it was kind of like both. Where like, you know, skill level wise, they're both really good, right? But there was like a big gap deficiency, not an actual skill, because an actual skill they were pretty much the same. But where there was a big gap was experience, right? Because one guy had been debating for give him like 2 years, maybe.
so there was a tactical gap.
Yeah, like there's a tactical like because one guy was debating for like I'm gonna go with like 2 years, probably, maybe three. And the other guy has been debating since the Google Plus era in terms of experience difference.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay, wait,
Yeah.
the book Tactics is great for this. Big part is asking questions. That was from Edgar.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, W. Edgar.
Eggert is correct. But so it's saying like so in terms of skill, there wasn't that much of a difference, but there was like a big difference in like actual like experience. So I feel like that's how more than likely maybe that's how he was able to get that to go and actually be successful. You know?
Yeah. I would say okay, now this is the one that I didn't really give an example for, but if it's someone who's like really bad versus someone who's really good, I would say like the likelihood that the person who's really bad will get a trap off is really low, but still a thing, especially depending on the debater archetype, right? So if you're debating someone who debates to the level of their opponent, right? And the other person is really bad, but the person thinks they're worse than they are because, you know, there's like a level where like, yeah, no one uses traps. And then like there's a level, it's like, okay, they're still bad, but they at least know what a trap is, right? If they think you're the lesser version of that and you're bad, but you're good enough to use a trap, right? They might get caught in it, right? Just as kind of like a fluke because they're debating to the level of you and you showed something that they didn't think you had / could do, which is a lot rarer, but is a
Basically
thing that
starts from
does
inner
happen.
intelligence.
I have
Inner
seen that
intelligence is
happen
basically
before.
just get a fluke
Actually,
in.
I'll tell you the weirdest tactic that I've seen
Oh
actually work.
no.
Where somebody used like empathy hacks to be somebody that was like way better than them. Like, and I literally mean empathy hacks. Like, so there's this one guy who was debating this guy, right? Person B is like, how do I explain this to you? Okay, so you know halting, right? You know, you
Yeah.
guys know.
Oh god.
Okay, so the gap in skill is like comparing Punk Rider to halting in terms of skill gap.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my god.
we're
No.
talking about one guy is wall level, and the other guy might as well be fucking out reversal.
Oh my god.
And but person
But
A,
it's a slaughter.
wait,
It's a massacre.
hold on a second, Gochi. So, but person A, when he's losing, what he does is that he will make himself sound very sad, and he'll play it up and he will big it up. And he made himself sound so pathetic and so sad that the other guy said, "You know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore," and he just gave up, and the guy won. I've seen that
That's
before.
so
Oh my
based.
That's so no. No, I
Bro,
can't.
that's
No way. It
wild.
actually works.
That was the flukiest fluke I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's a fluke over a massacre. Jesus.
Yeah, and I mean, like the skill level was really that big. It was genuinely that big. It was that bad.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I had a debate, bro, where like I'm not making it up. It did happen verbatim. My opponent started crying. Like in VC, audibly crying. We asked him if he's crying, he said yes. And then someone was like, bro, Punk Rider, just concede, please. I'm like, no, everything for the win. I'll never concede again.
Bro, is that empathy hacks, bro? I'm telling you, bro. That's just
No.
powerful.
That shit does not work, bro.
Yeah, Punk Rider had the resistance, bruh.
Listen, he just had to have it. Listen, if you don't have the resistance, then you just lose, you know?
Facts,
true.
yeah. That's why resistances are important. It's not all about hacks, bruh. Sometimes it's about hacks resistance.
Apparently. That shit's hilarious. Actually, speaking of resistances, let me ask you this, right? So it's like, what do you guys think of the concept of you're in a tournament, right? And then like there are hacks is banned, right? And let's say like, plot hacks is banned, you know? And then I say, okay, buddy, I'm gonna hit you with a soul attack. The soul attacks aren't banned. And the other person says, okay, well, you see, so my character was able to resist this narrative hack, so I can resist your stuff. And then you say, well, hold on, but narrative is banned. But then they say, narrative, like narrative, you can't, not using narrative hacks. Yeah, using narrative hacks is banned, but this is a resistance. So I'm not actually using the hack. And they, what do you think? What do you guys think about that?
So you're using narrative hacks resistance, but not narrative hacks?
Yes, and they're saying that it should be allowed because like you're not technically using the hack, even though the hack is banned. What do you guys think about that?
I like that.
You like that?
Oh my god. So I mean, I think it's a valid thing to say, but what I would say if I was going up against someone who did that, right? And like, let's say I didn't have anything for that, I would say, okay, well, how does the resistance work, right? And if they say anything about the plot, right, I'm gonna say, okay, well, that's a form of plot hack. You can't use it. GG's, right? Like if they say,
what if they say, I just survived. I'm just surviving it.
Okay, yeah, then I would say, okay, prove that applies to souls. Like, just because someone has a resistance to plot hacks doesn't entail they have a resistance to soul hacks if it doesn't necessarily affect the plot, right? At least directly.
I guess that could work.
I'll scale my plot higher.
Because, like, one of the things you can say, right? Because real quick, one of the things you can say about plot hacks and plot hacks resistance, right, is plot hacks is the changing of the plot, right? So if you have plot hacks resistance, you're resistant to them changing the plot. But if I'm attacking your soul, I'm not changing the plot. I'm attacking your soul. That's a completely different hacks. So if you have that other resistance, that doesn't affect this hacks whatsoever. And that's what I would say.
I guess that could work. That's fair. I guess
Yeah.
at that point, I guess someone just depends. At that point,
Yeah. Because that's one of the reasons why asking questions is so important. Because if you don't know the mechanism of this resistance and you just kind of give into it, it's like, okay, yeah, you obviously lose. But if it's like, okay, if the mechanism of it is, okay, yeah, I can resist the changing of the plot, it's like, okay, well, my hacks doesn't have anything to do with that. GG's. So in that case, the context makes everything, right? I mean, in general, I think context is everything, but that's a specific example to where it's more obvious.
fair
No,
enough.
context literally makes or breaks a debate, nonetheless.
Facts. 100%.
Some hacks that would affect the plot. Like reality warping.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Give us an example of a few hacks that could potentially affect the plot, like reality warping, for an example.
Well, it depends, right? So when it comes to plot hacks, I am hesitant to say anything that I wouldn't just flat out call plot hacks can affect the plot. The only example is maybe like reality warping in a verse like SEP, where reality is the narrative. That's like kind of the only exception I would say. But like I would just call that plot hacks. Yeah, like most verses aren't SEP.
Like subjective reality, unholy manipulation.
Yeah, so it depends, bro. Because like literally, unless the hacks has in the description can affect the plot, or there's like a statement of affecting the plot, I wouldn't say that it can. Right now, I mean, yeah, I think that pretty much speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay. So
plot hacks. Plot hacks are banned.
Controversial question. Controversial question.
Okay.
So, wait. Oh, sorry. First of all, Punk Rider, why do you have like 50 million tabs open? I'm just noticing this. What the hell? You have like every tab on humanity. Bro.
This is after I cleaned it.
Bro, oh my god, bro. If you converted these tabs, wait a minute, bro. If you converted these tabs into food, you would feed Africa 5 times over. What is
this? Bro, it's continental feeding level tabs, bro.
Jesus Christ!
The continental feed. Continental.
God
damn.
damn.
Punk Rider the planet after that.
Okay, but let me get to what I was gonna ask. Okay, so a lot of people. This is 2 questions actually. It's because a lot of people can't seem to agree on this, right? Okay, 1. How do you determine if a debater is good or not? And 2, how do you determine who actually wins a debate? Because a lot of people they just be fighting to the death about what that actually means. As we fight to the death about it.
Well, for one, like concession automatically wins you a debate. For one.
Oh yeah, well that's concession, but I'm talking about if stuff goes to judgment. Because obviously, if you win by concession, that's a universal thing. Everybody knows that. But I'm not talking about concessions.
Like if it's clear, you clearly have like the better debating, like the skill that outclasses them, and you can prove your evidence more. Like, let's just say they can't prove their evidence, and you can. That just wins you in debates. But also,
but like debate skill doesn't always
win a debate. And intelligence, like you can outsmart
debate skill. But debate skill doesn't always win a debate, right? Because you can be more skilled at somebody within debate, and you can still win, like depending on like how you argue the certain characters and what you deem is more likely to happen.
But it's also depending on which characters you mainly are good at scaling, and if you can outsmart whoever you're debating or not, because intelligence is a big factor when you're debating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, and it does like depend on the characters. That's what I was asking. Like, what do you guys think determines who wins? Because some people say that, like, okay, that this person has more points, therefore they're going to win. And some people say, okay,
points
and some people will say, like, okay, this person has more win cons, so they're more likely to win. Another person might say, okay, this person is closer to winning, or this person will do this and the third. Because some people they'll give different things. Because I've seen people be like, hey, so this thing wasn't argued. Like stamina wasn't argued. So if you guys like keep fighting like this, you guys are just gonna pass out of stamina. And some people will be like, well, like they automatically assume that stamina is the thing because they're fighting. Because like some people will like, they'll like mix and match it like that. So I was asking you guys.
Yo, all right. So first of all, well, actually, Punk Rider, you want to go first, or you want me to pop off first on this one?
I already kind of popped off.
Wait, hold on.
Popped off, so don't
I reached
Alright.
for my laptop.
Oh boy,
All right.
his superpower.
I want to listen to that other VC as well.
His
Hold on.
superpower is crazy,
bet.
dog. He's already out of Earth. He
what was I
doesn't need
saying?
superpowers.
I was gonna say that you go not based off of rhetoric, not based off of knowledge. You go based off of argumentation. You only look at what was being said in the debate, and then you just compare every single, statement and argument, and even questions, because sometimes questions are statements depending on how they debate,
Can matter.
and then how they relate to each other, and then how they debunk each other, and then you have to look at the grammar being used.
The grammar?
Yeah, because sometimes people would make a claim that if they use specific wording, it would win them the debate, but sometimes they don't connect it back to the topic, even though we know what their intention is, but they fail it.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I've seen that actually because I remember like long ago in a distant land, back during the High Mid Wars in Cool Geek server.
Oh yes.
Let me see. Okay. I think it was Cho. Cho debated somebody, and I believe it was like Sendai who gave him a point or gave him the win, because even though Cho didn't like fully say this, because Sendai knew what he was talking about, he was like, yeah, I know what he's talking about, so yeah, I think he wins that. And then people saying, hold on, but Cho didn't say this though. But the other person was like, yeah, but like I know what he's so like
I disagree with that judgment. I think that's bad judgment.
That's bad.
Yeah, for sure.
automatically.
Yeah.
He didn't really say it,
Yeah.
but like if it's clear he's interpreting that, it still doesn't matter. He needs to get the full claim out.
Yeah, because I've seen people judge certain debates for whatever reason.
But
Yeah, and I agree with Punk Rider on this one. Like when it comes to judging debates, when you have to go by the points, right? And it's who got points through, who didn't get points through, and then of course the analysis of obviously the sort of skill of determining, whether or not a point got through. Oh yeah, catch you later, Rika.
All that, yeah,
Tour.
yeah, argumentation, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I think that you have to go by points. I think that's the only objective way to do it.
Yeah.
You either have to go by like points, argumentation. Depends if it's
Your mic is so ass, my brother.
I know.
Like we cannot hear you, bro.
Like this mic was worse than how my mic was a couple hours ago when I was on the boat. That's how bad it is.
Facts.
On a boat. On a boat. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that actually happened. I like popped into a different server earlier and got Debater was there, and his mic was really bad, and he was like on a boat. Like he was literally on a boat. And for some reason your mic is worse than that.
Somehow.
Better or no?
I can comprehend what he says. I'll leave it at that.
If he can comprehend what I say, that's good. But like,
All right.
it actually honestly depends if it's like a really close debate or not. Like you'd have to go by who could have got more points through. Like depends if it's a stomp, like competitive, or just a flat out draw.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I'll
draws
give
in debates can
context.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give context to debates, right? Like, say I judge a debate, right? I'll definitely add more context. Like, okay, so let's just say it was a draw, just as an example. Okay, it was a draw. They argumentatively stalemated, but X person was slamming rhetorically, right? So I'll say that, you know, like maybe this person just had so much better rhetoric, but in terms of actual points, like substance, it was equal, right? I'll say stuff like that, or, you know, whatever else, right? Like, yeah, it was maybe, yeah, argumentatively this person won and it wasn't even close. Like I'll say that sometimes, although I won't always say that unless someone asks, but yeah.
Like, even if someone slams you in the argumentative department, if your flat out points are equal, it doesn't matter. It's still gonna be a draw nonetheless.
Well, I guess this.
I think what you said was contradictory. I don't know that you could win argumentatively but have equal points.
It also depends on the judges.
Wait, I mean, well, hold on, if you beat.
Well, no, he's asking for our judging criteria.
Oh, if you beat somebody argumentatively, that means you out argue them on the points. You can't be equal in the points and beat them argumentatively. Like that can't really happen like that. Like, you know, if you beat them on it, then you win that point.
No, it'd be funny if it did.
Funny, but not correct. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I guess this leads into the other part when I was asking, you know, like what determines how do you would determine who's above who, right? Like, I won't say the person's name, right? Like, but I was debating another person like a while back, right? It was like in a kind of like a team tournament, right? So when it came down to us arguing, because it was a text debate, we were arguing for a couple of days. So on the points that we put in max effort on, like that we battled for hours and hours and hours, right? The judges said that, okay, so debater, you won those 2 points. You won this point and that point. And those are 2 points that we fought on for days about. But they still ended up having him and his team winning because of like one particular ability that his character had that I had to like try to get around because I didn't have like a direct counter for it. And because of it, they gave the win to him and his team. But when me and him are actually arguing, like, you know, for days on a couple points, like I would win on that. So in that a case like that, who would you determine who's like better? Like, how would you determine it? Because, you know, how would you determine it basically? Yeah.
Yeah, so
you want me to pop off here?
No, I got it. So yeah, if two people are debating, right, and they are going relative on, let's call them the even topics, right? So within the topic, there are the subtopics, right? So whatever subtopics there are that are even, whoever does better on those, I would say, is better argumentatively. If there's like some point that maybe it's like super uphill or something like that, and one of them like stomps on it, that's taken into consideration, but less, right? If there's, say, one uphill topic that one guy slams on, but the 3 other topics are even and the other guy won, right? Then I would say I would take the 3 that the other guy won more heavily than the one uphill one that was a slam, if that makes sense. And then, of course, rhetorically, I'll take a look at that, right? How are both of them presenting? How convincing are they? Did one guy just convince the other of 5 separate things back to back? Like, if you guys are debating and say, I don't know, let's say you and him are debating on whether or not, I don't know, your character is, I don't know, planetary, right? And, you know, you basically say the same thing, like you say your argument, right? And then they're like, well, you know, I don't know, I think I disagree because in like the given argument. But then you just use rhetoric. You're like, wait, you mean to tell me you disagree with this line of reasoning? What could you possibly even use to justify that, right? And then they just like give up the argument because you rhetoricked them. I would, of course, say that, yeah, you definitely had the rhetorical advantage over them, especially if it's like consistent, obviously. If it's a one-off, I would take into an account, but it also depends on whether or not there were other instances that contradict that and so on and so forth, right?
So in the case with,
but there's also
in the case with me and the guy, then what would you say in that case?
Right. So I don't think you said anything rhetorically, but like as terms of arguments, it does seem like from what you said that I would probably say that if you won the even points, but he said something that made it like uphill for you, and then you ended up losing because of that, I would say skill for skill, you're still probably better, even though you lost. Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay. So that brings me to this, right? So, would you guys, in terms of who's better, would you guys value more of the performance or the outcome
Yes.
of
The performance. Performance is always
Performance,
king. If we're
yeah.
talking about like who's better, the performance I would say is always more important.
But
How
it's also
much
depending on the
factors?
quality of. It's also Demon. It's also depending on the
on-
quality of competition they're debating against, and actually their overall track record of debating. Like what makes a good debater. Let's say Punk Rider for an example, who has a proven track record.
On
Debating.
Okay, please don't use open-ended questions like that. Like bro.
It's not. It's not an open-ended question. I'm just
I mean,
stating
yeah. I
my
mean,
personal.
you don't listen. You don't say stuff like that and then just say nothing. That's literally begging the question. Like, wait, you know what? Is you say something, and be like, okay, yeah, and like you said, like, oh yeah, has a proven track record of, and then you just pause, like, of
Depends.
what? Like, don't do that. Like, okay, like
My bad.
maybe like go into detail, maybe for the 5 people in the audience
Like
who don't know who Punk Rider is.
Punk Rider, he's literally one of the best debaters in the server from
I said
what
the
I've
five
seen and
people
They
what I've.
don't know
in the
me, bro.
stream that don't know who you are. They don't know who he is.
Yo,
They don't
Goji,
know
Goji.
him.
Wait, Goji, you're forgetting the fact that we're literally on stream right now, and the people watching the stream are not necessarily the same people that are in the server. As a matter of fact, I would say probably barely any of the people that are watching the stream, either live or on the recording, are the same people that are also in the server. Like, there's probably very little overlap.
Heavy doubt if
Probably
there
none.
are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to explain this. So, Kogi, you can explain. I am popping off right now.
My God.
It's okay.
I'm not popping.
Yeah, but
Popped off
yeah, I
pretty
would
good.
definitely say performance matters, but I think what Goji might have been trying to get at is the historical performances as well, right? How good has the person done in the past, right? Is this consistent? Because like if it's like a one-off thing to where, maybe they were swapping hands for like one debate, but maybe they aren't that good consistently and maybe there's been no change, like literally there's no difference, they just somehow went relative, like yeah, maybe the other person's having a bad day, but if it happens multiple times, I would definitely say like it would be consistent, right?
What about the case of Ghetto Jin?
Ghetto Jin, what about Ghetto Jin?
The most inconsistent bastard I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there's a couple ways of looking at it. When it comes to Jin, he's not really
Share.
yeah, when it comes to like Jin, we have to specify what we're talking about. Are we talking about like Jin on an average day, which may be unquantifiable? Or are we talking about Jin on his best day or Jin on his worst day? Like, there's certain people that I would put on a tier list twice. Like, I would literally say, okay, this is Jin on like a bad day, and then this is Jin on like a good day, and like I'll have that. But it depends. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jin is everywhere, man. Jin's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember me and Punk Rider were having a conversation about like pinnacle tier debaters, and I believe there were 3 names in the mix. One of them was like, okay, this guy performs the best consistently, this guy has the best peaks, and then this guy, and then it's kind of, you just kind of go down the list of like it's kind of like the GOAT conversation in like the UFC. It's like, okay, well, what do you value more? It's kind of like that in terms of debating. It's like peaks or consistency, right?
Yeah. Like, because like for example, like where I come from, right? Like when we make our tier list, right? So we place extra emphasis on consistency, right? So it's like
Yeah.
so like if you just one debate wouldn't be enough. Like the only time we'll take one debate is only if there's like a long trend of consistency on top of that, right? Like if you have like person A, B, and C, right? And let's say A and B are debating, right? Like, and they debate a lot. Like they exchange wins and losses, right? And let's say like A is, and let's say like and like B and C, they're also exchanging wins and losses. But A never debated C, right? So and let's say A and C debated one time. C wins. So even though they only debated once, because of the consistency of all of them fighting each other, like we can then put C. Okay. C right now is probably above A, even though they only had one debate because of the consistency with everything else. That is usually how we will do stuff like that over for where I come from.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, like the top person where I'm from, he's there because he's beaten everybody. Well, except me because we never debated. But he's beaten like everybody in there. Like I don't even know how many times. Like he's beaten one guy like twice, the other guy like 3 times. 3 people he's debated and beaten. I'm gonna go with one of them might be 15 times, the other one might be 20, and the other one might be 50. Okay, maybe not 50, maybe 30, maybe maybe 30.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, one of them is definitely fucking 30.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
It's a fucking lot. Y'all say that. So yeah, like we do, and we do value like outcomes more, like who actually won at the end of the day. We'll put performance into like consideration if we're talking about like are they within the same tier bracket, but we would generally put like who ended up winning, who actually won, if we were to determine who's higher than who, like you know what I mean. That's how we would more so put it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the reasons I think that's flawed is, well, from my perspective, is because when I'm making a tier list, it's not a who wins tier list. It's a who's more skilled than who tier list. So I guess that's one way of looking at it, right? Like, are you making a who won tier list or a who's better tier list?
Like a fundamental difference, right? Because like it's the difference between like like for example, right, let's use like Marvel or DC for example, right? Like if you made like who's the strongest characters versus who's the most skilled characters, the list would drastically change depending on if it's strongest or most skilled.
Exactly. Like, let's say, for example, if I debate you 10 times, right? And let's say I win all 10, but we're debating on like the morality of unaliving people. And you decide that unaliving them is moral, right? I wouldn't say that I'm better, especially if we're going relative. Like if we're going like mad relative and I beat you 10 times on that topic, like I don't think that means I'm better at all. Like not even a little bit. Like, like the fact that you're able to go relative with me on a topic that's uphill is an insane performance versus like, oh, I won on the super downhill topic. Like,
Like, okay. So if a topic is like that, right? Like where I'm from, right? If it's like that, like we will take that into consideration, like when it comes to like who like are they in the same tier, we will take that into consideration, but we more so mean the outcomes of like when they're debating like relative topics, because where I'm from, people usually don't take stupid uphill topics. That's like typically not what happens. People where I'm from are not really interested in taking like super uphill topics and not really super interested in that. So they're more likely to take like more relative topics. But if it's a case like that, that is taken into consideration. We'll still say, oh yeah, this person won, but we'll add like asterisks. We'll add like caveats. That's usually what happens. But to minimize that, we usually keep topics to be the more like in the more fair variety of stuff that they're like really good at. Like I don't know, like if we debate like IRL for example, and your best topic is gun control, like for like and let's say like gun control is in my top 3 of topics. It's more so stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I take in those kind of debates when I'm looking at like list for list. I usually don't have to specify that when I'm doing the lists where I'm from because like I said, people, will usually debate fair topics. Well,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's like 8.5 out of 10. That's usually what happens. Maybe even 9 sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And then, yeah, I guess you'd say the other thing would be, yeah, how good are you at X topic, right? Because kind of like you said, if it's like, okay, this is your best topic, but maybe the other topic for you, that same topic is your third best. Depending on how you are as a debater, will kind of determine how I would scale that, right? So if you're someone who is drastically better at one topic, right? And your second best topic is like, 3 tiers worse than your best topic, right? Which does happen sometimes. And you debate that, and I don't know, you are debating someone else whose third best topic is your best topic, right? I would say that that's like a really, really good feat for the guy whose third best topic it is. Now, if you're the guy who, okay, we're debating on my third best topic, but you're the one trick pony, right? To where you have one topic that you're like a god at, but everything else you're like not as good. If you lose to someone whose best topic is your third best topic, in which case, like, your third best topic is not even remotely the same as your best topic, I would also scale that differently as well, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Like, do you know who Godless Girl is?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So if you were to like tell me I beat Godless Girl on the existence of God, right? I would think that's like a really, really good feat. But if you told me that you beat Godless Girl on Goku versus Superman or something, I'm gonna laugh at you like really hard.
I would say
enough,
that's impressive.
I don't know.
Wait, what did you say, Punk Rider?
I think even that's impressive.
It might be, yeah. I mean, I guess I guess it depends on what you're trying to say your level is. I think.
Godless
like I mean,
tier.
like
I don't know.
I mean, like I don't know. We're really gonna use like, for example, the Godless tier girl shit. Like as far as I know, she knows like nothing of fiction. She has as much fictional knowledge as somebody from the 50s. So like, would that really be like that impressive? You know what I mean?
I think it depends on what our standard is. Like, I don't know. Like, if Debater told you he beat Godless Girl on like Goku versus Superman, I think that's impressive. But I think if Midnight told you the same thing, like, I don't think you'd be impressed. Am I right?
Yeah.
Is that like
Yeah.
is that like a shot at me or something?
No,
That feels like it.
it
That feels
wasn't intended as one, but it may be perceived as one.
That felt like a backhanded slap. I don't know how to take that. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
It means that Punk Rider thinks Midnight is way better than you. But I don't think that's like bad. Like Midnight's way better than like 99.99% of everyone.
But like, damn, this man is saying I'm so bad that if I beat Godless Girl at something that she literally has zero knowledge of, that's impressive. That is a crazy.
But no, Godless Girl's good. No, Godless Girl's
I
good.
didn't deserve this. I don't know.
No, Godless Girl's good.
But if she literally knows jack shit and Jar Rastafari, is that really that impressive?
Well, like, okay, because I think that there's a certain level of debating to where if you're that good, and if the gap is big enough, and you're just an insanely good debater, even if you have zero knowledge, you can still stomp.
Can you debate Shinigami Inverse Bleach?
I literally did that before. I was whether or not not Todoroki. What the heck is wrong with me? Whether or not what's the kid, like the short guy, Ice Captain?
I don't know his name, nigga. Why are you asking me?
Yeah,
oh damn! I don't know. I don't know. You hang out with Shinigami. I thought you'd know, but I used to know that though.
I just said it. It's Hitsugaya.
Oh yeah, Hitsugaya. Yeah. So I debated him on like whether or not Hitsugaya was the weakest captain in the anime. And yeah, I just stomped. It was not close, bro. I like destroyed him really badly.
What if it was in the manga? In the manga you never read?
Yeah, in the manga I never read. I mean, yeah, I'd probably still win.
Bro, do we need to prove this? Like, I'll do it right now if you can get Shinigami here.
Shinigami, I cannot get Shinigami in here. You could give me $100 and I couldn't get Shinigami in here.
It'd be like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, I still think I could do it, you know?
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, but with Godless Girl and IRL topic specifically, it's kind of like the bad argument for why you should debate IRL. It's like, oh, it'll make you better at fiction. Like that does stand in the Godless Girl scenario. Not that you should debate IRL for that reason, but it is the case that like, okay, you say like, okay, yeah, I think Goku beats Superman. She says, okay, why does anything you say have meaning? And then you just can't prove that. Yeah, she just beat you on that.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How does
Yo, Phoenix in the chat, bro. Phoenix might go, bro. Check out the chat, bro. A person in a vegetative state would beat Shinigami on the topic of a Marvel human beating Toa.
damn. Bro, what Phoenix is this, bro? Do I know this Phoenix? God damn, that sounds impersonal. What the fuck?
Yup.
Do I know this Phoenix? I swear to God. Bro,
I don't
okay.
know. Probably.
Yeah, if this Phoenix can hear me, bro, do you know who I am? Bro, I want to know if I know you, bro. I swear.
Yo, by the way, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Keep the viewers entertained.
All right.
I mean, my goodness, that had to be personal. That came from a place of hatred, bro. Like, bro, like damn, bro, sound like, bro, people in a vegetative state. Yeah, okay, yeah. Which Phoenix are you? Which Phoenix are you? Are you called are you the Phoenix, the one Phoenix? Are you Phoenix Wright? You said you know me, so which Phoenix are you? I feel just off of the hatred you gave to Shinigami that you're Phoenix the one. Is that which one you are? Like, are you that one? Bro, that was yeah, I knew it. Okay, I knew it. Okay, I knew it was you. Because ain't no way. Because that was some personal hatred, bro. I know you had beef for this nigga like literally today, but damn, like, bro.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, yeah, like that Phoenix, like earlier today, got into some beef with Phoenix, bro. We got into beef with Shinigami, bro. That's how I knew it had to be that Phoenix. Because that, bro.
I mean,
Like,
halting
that-
also beat Shinigami.
Show. Hold on, we'll get to that. Bro literally woke up and chose violence. When did Shinigami and halting debate? When the hell was this?
Bro, it was apparently either when I was a mid tier or even before I started debating, bro. I heard they debated on Usopp from One Piece versus Ichigo, and then Halting argued that Usopp's nose is like canonically X amount of centimeters, and that there are an infinite amount of numbers between each centimeter, therefore his nose is like infinitely large. And this guy Shinigami could not know what to say, bro. He was stunlocked.
I don't believe this is the same Shinigami, bro. It has to be
Shinigami
someone
Huntsman, killer nerd.
different. It has to be an imposter or something.
No,
bro.
no, it's legit. I saw Shinigami run away from halting on like at least 2 occasions. It's real.
God, dog. I come on, man. Shin can't be that dumb. I'm no way. I can't.
But you
no
can
way.
cope, debater. You can cope and say that was an old Shinigami.
Bro, I don't even know if that's the same Shinigami, bro. I'm starting to think this is an alternate version.
That bad.
It's the version from the Dark Dimension, dog. You can't
This is the retard
Bro,
equation Shinigami.
I don't care how bad Shin is, bro. There's no way. There's actually no way. Oh my god, bro. Man, I don't know, man. Because I don't mess in Shin and improving is a complicated topic, bro. That's a
Yeah.
very complicated topic, bro. Like, the concept of Shinigami improving could honestly be a debatable topic. You could actually have a reasonable debate about that unironically.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like, I don't
Didn't
know,
Alistair
man.
beat him?
Bro, why are you doing Alistair like this, bro? Why you gotta say it like that?
Bro, isn't he
Bro,
like super terrible? That's all I know.
bro. Listen, nah, Alistair's not that bad. I mean, like he did almost beat Cool Geek one time. We don't talk about that.
I don't remember that. And I was there. I thought, and I keep telling this to Kugi, that he was dragging that debate out to the point where I thought he was losing, bro. And then I really thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? That's just Kugi derailing on a topic he should have won like 2 hours ago.
Bro, I don't listen, man. Like, Alistair's like a really slow starter. So Cool Geek fucking stalled long enough that even Alistair eventually got like a footrest to stand on and just kept standing. That's how long Geek took to actually finish the damn fight,
Yeah.
or at least not even finish the fight, just to make his position more dominant. Because Geek he like fucking, it's like giving somebody a limp handshake. He like limp
Yo, I'm back.
handshake up
Hello,
until
Kugi.
like very end. It was ridiculous. I don't know why Geek did that.
Oh, you're talking about the ISK debate, I'm assuming?
No, because that one you just got slapped. But no, I'm talking about the one with like Alistair.
Oh, wait. What were you saying? I thought I caught like part of it, but I didn't know what you were talking about.
Punk
I
Rider
felt
was
like the
telling me.
very end.
All right. Here's the cliff notes. Punk Rider was telling me that Shinigami ran from halting, and he told me the argument, and I was like, bro, this has to be a different Shinigami. There's no way he's that dumb. And then Phoenix in the chat said, oh, that like fucking Phoenix, if he fucking said that, like, okay, a person in a vegetative state would beat Shinigami on a topic of Marvel Human versus beating Toa, and I was like, no, and I was dying because like that was fucking hilarious. And then and then this nigga was telling me about the halting thing, and I was like, no way. And then he brought up Alistair, and then like I was saying, yeah, but hold on, Alistair did beat Kogi that one time, and now we're here. Oh, hey, Corn, what's up?
Corin.
Corn, yo,
Hey,
what's up?
yo, what's good, Corin?
Yes. So that's what we're talking about. The time that Alistair almost beat Kogi, which was funny as shit.
Wait, how was it Corin below Niotic?
Hmm?
Is that it?
Maybe
Corin number 2? I don't remember what
not
it was.
anymore. Not anymore. Nautic hasn't debated in like 10,000 years.
Oh, okay.
And like Nautic, I think Nautic was like tied number 2 or number 1 back when he was debating.
Corin number
like,
1?
Right? Yeah, like in his server now. Yeah,
Please
like
debate me, Corin. I'm on my knees. Please. Please.
Bro, what's wrong? Oh my god. Bro, you sound like an English prostitute, bro. Never say that again.
I am.
What's wrong with you?
I am. Please, bro.
Bro, what's wrong with you?
Nobody debates
Yo, what's up,
me.
Corin?
Why are you fiending?
Nobody debates me.
Bro, I literally sent you to like fucking 2 different servers.
And nobody debated me, and you were freaking out because they were not debating me.
Oh my god. Okay, listen. You didn't ask.
I did. I did.
In Kermit's server. You didn't ask.
Let me see. Hold on. I think you're lying. One sec.
Okay. If you did ask somebody, you asked like the most inactive bastard possible.
Hold on. Is it Special 4 or something? Hold on. What is it called?
Yo, also, Corin. I don't know if you're still there, but separate from the debating Punk Rider thing, would you be down to like hop on and like in VC to like stream one day? Like not now, but like, you know, whenever. Like if I just gave you like a ahead of time notice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Stream about what?
Marvel, why Corin's better than all the other people he knows. What? Who said that?
I mean, I already explained.
Debater, is it casual 4?
Yes.
Yeah, I just did ask someone. Yeah.
Who did you ask?
Alistor.
Okay. All right. So I was right. You asked the most inactive bastard in humanity.
He replied.
What did he say?
I I asked, hey, do you still debate? He said, yeah. And then I replied, and then he aired me. It's not that funny, bro. And then this other guy wanted to debate me, but I forgot to reply. His name is List Chad Maker, whoever that is.
You know what? He actually would have debated you on a semi-reasonable time if you actually did respond to him.
I forgot, yeah.
I mean,
Hello.
you can do that. I mean, why not?
This is not even Corrin server, bro. Isn't it Crimbus's?
Yeah, it's Crimus's server. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just not in that other
I didn't
server.
say it was Corrin's server, did I?
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
No, I didn't. I don't know. Oh, fucking hell! I don't know if Phoenix is still here, but bro, inaccessibly better than Shin. Okay, to be fair, Phoenix, I don't know, man. Like, they might just be rivals, low key. You know, Alistair and Shin might be rivals, low key, low key. You never know.
Hugik, you're Shinigami level?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro! Man, bro! I swear to God, I'm gonna make like a Cool Geek disrespect thread at this rate, bro. I swear.
The slander.
The slander, bro. I don't know, man. Getting Cool Geek to Shinigami level, man. If that's the case, this man might be sub-halting in a minute.
Yo, calm down. In no possible world is that the case.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Are you struggling with Shin's rival, his ultimate rival?
No. No.
That's not very good, bro. It's not very good.
Dude, I literally beat Alistair on every single point except maybe when he said something that I didn't hear.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I do know you almost lost a bad time.
Almost lost a bad time. Okay. Yeah, that just did not true.
Bad time, the fucking dollar store gray value brand.
I know who you're talking about. You're just not speaking true words, bruh.
Like Isk if he couldn't debate. Stop.
If he couldn't debate.
That bad time.
Yeah. Yeah, the same guy that I destroyed easily. Okay.
Hey, don't make me pull up the diff again.
Bro, okay, wait, what? Wait, you mean the one that you made? Okay, bro. Like, okay, did Bad Time win any points? I don't think he did.
I think he did.
I literally don't think he did. Like, I genuinely do not think he won a point.
I'm
like, maybe sure I steel man something. Maybe if I steel man something, you can give him that. Sure.
If he even if you won every point, it's like I remember you struggled on a lot of the points. Like I remember this.
Yeah, I don't remember that, and I remember when you brought this up in Godzilla server that everyone disagreed with you. But yeah, we move.
I don't know how they could disagree. They wasn't there.
I'm pretty sure they were, at least some of them, but okay.
Bro, because you debated him in Corrin's place, right? And he was in Godzilla's server, bro. Most of the people that are in Godzilla's place aren't in Corrin's place. So
I didn't say like Godzilla's entire server. I was just saying the people that were there, well, that claimed to be there. That I'm pretty sure some of them just were. Like I'm pretty sure Godzilla was there, and like Tyler the Immortal was there, and okay, Carnifex wasn't there to disagree because I think he got banned from Godzilla server at that time when we were having that conversation. But I'm pretty sure Carnifex was also there.
Hold on. Actually, time out. Where is this? Let me see if I can find who. Let me see. Did I write who judged with you and and this nigga? You maybe? Hold on. Did I say who judged? Okay,
but also I'm pretty sure we have different standards for what struggling is anyway as well. So it might also be that like communication error right now. But yeah,
if we start that conversation, we're gonna be here for an hour.
Facts.
There is 4 people left in the chat.
Yeah, nope, 5. 1 joined literally right when you said that.
Maybe I should keep saying that there's like 4 people left so more people can join.
Based.
I'm gonna use like reverse psychology on the universe.
Bro, debater.
Oh my god!
You know
oh my God,
that
it's actually
thing?
working. There's 6 people in the chat now. It's actually working.
Debater. You know that thing when like your video game is like loading but really slowly, and when you
Yeah.
stop giving a fuck, it loads instantly.
Yeah.
This is
Okay,
what
you know
just
what?
happened.
There's not 6 people in the chat. There's 5 people in the chat. Come on. There's only 5 people. Universe, only 5.
Man, I don't even care about viewers, man.
Oh, damn. I think it hurt us. There's
Zero.
now 4 people in the chat. There's now 4 people. Then they hurt us.
Dang. It'd be like
Bro,
that.
Bro, I like the minute Punk Rider said he didn't care about the viewers, we went from 6 to 4. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It'd
I
be
think
like that.
it only works when I do it, apparently.
Maybe. But yeah, the universe trying to like spite debater, so like whatever he says, it's just the opposite.
And then Punk Rider spoke, and then it just went back to 4. That's rough.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Ay. Let's see. So, what else can we talk about today?
Man,
Damn,
Cool
10-4.
Geek. You're too late, bruh. The guy left. He was debating like everybody in the other VC.
Rip.
Man, we need Cool Geek. This thing is titled The Comeback. But Cool Geek's been talking about this comeback for 3 years now.
Hey, listen. You're spitting. But hey, this time it's actually though. Yeah, I'll probably stream again tomorrow. I'll see if the guy who was in VC can come back. I'll try to like get him because he seemed like he
Wait a
was
minute.
pretty active.
Hold on. Wait, Punk Rider, didn't Geek say he was doing a comeback on a stream with the
Yes.
3 of us in his role?
Yes, literally, yes. I was clowning him on that.
Hey, listen. It's actually though this time. This time it's like it's just true, yeah.
Bro, you sound like an abused girlfriend. Oh, it's gonna be different this time, I promise.
True. Oh, yo,
Oh my
debater. I was gonna ask, like, real quick, bro. If you look at the channels in this server, where is the one for you that says members? 1871. The member count. Is that the top
I'm
or the bottom?
It's at the top. Like I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
All right. Oh. Okay. By the way, when are you niggas gonna put those rules? Put the debate roles in there. I've been waiting for them, bro. What's
Geek
taking
is
so
planning
long?
on it. He said he wants to do it. Well, what did you say,
Okay,
Cool Geek?
Okay, hold on. Wait, Punk Rider. I think we've learned that we can't trust Cool Geek to do stuff in a reasonable time. How about you do it?
I know.
Yeah, okay, debater. But yeah, so actually probably maybe unironically tomorrow, Punk Rider. We can like talk about it like probably post stream maybe.
Yeah, I'd like
All right.
that.
All right. I mean, like you guys can end the stream and then you can like show me the roles again.
Yeah, so yeah, after we're done streaming, we can go over it.
Yeah. I mean, like, do we have anything else to say, or?
Yeah, so we'll keep going. So as for what was it, debaters, not you debater, but debaters in general, because one of the things,
One thing I should have not named myself debater because whenever I want to find my name in a chat, it's like nearly fucking impossible.
Facts. But okay, so one of the things that we kind of touched on earlier was debating having carryover to real life. We touched on that earlier, and I think that'd be interesting to have your take on as well. We can kind of circle back to that. So, what is your take on debating having IRL applications?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Honestly, how do I describe it? Like, okay, if y'all ever, okay, this is gonna be weird. Y'all ever watch Regular Show?
Yeah.
Okay,
Back in the day, I did.
You know that one episode of Regular Show where they drink that smart juice and everybody else sounded like cavemen to them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I felt when I started debating. Because ever since I started debating, when I listen to people speak and listen to people give reasoning, I'm like, bro, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, bro, like
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, did you even stop for a single second to think about what you just said. Like, and then I'd be applying that to everything, even if I don't want to. It is like passive. I hear somebody say an argument, and I think about like I just auto think about all the flaws in it. It's made me better at communication, but it's also made me look at people differently because like I see how much stupid arguments people make all the time because
Yeah, for sure.
waiting.
Yeah, I get that 100%. So I pretty much agree on that. That's pretty funny. So whenever someone talks in real life, I am the hypercritical person like that to where I'm analyzing what they say. Now, I'm not a spurg, so I'm not going to say anything most of the time unless it's someone I already know. But yeah, I do always think of that. Like, okay, how is this person presenting? How the arguments they formulate in their head, like, what is the quality like? Stuff like that. But also internally, I've been a lot more self-critical as well. Like, I'll be having a conversation and I'll like fumble over my words, and I'm like in my head, okay, if I'm talking to like my close circle, I literally say I literally say out loud, like, yeah, that was not rhetorical. and then we'll all start laughing about it. But like, if I'm talking to someone else, I obviously won't say that out loud, but I'm like thinking in my head, like, holy crap, that was not rhetorical. Speak properly. And yeah, so
Cool Geek says that to the women at the library.
oh my god, bro. Imagine. But no, so yeah, I do think that a lot and it's something that I always think about, like, how am I presenting? How is my communication at the time, which, like you said, has been a good asset to me. And just the skill of presenting in general has had good carryover, as well as the fact that of being aware of my speaking has carryover to obviously speaking better, because I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm aware that I speak bad, but I'm not going to fix it. It's like, okay, no, I speak bad. All right, how do I fix this? And over the years, I've definitely gotten way better at presenting well. And same thing arguments wise.
Could you fix I meant to say, can you fix in-betweeners speaking if you spoke like him?
Oh my god. If I spoke like him, I think I definitely could.
I don't know, man. Is there like weight loss tips for your tongue?
Oh my god, you're such a spurg. But I mean, in all seriousness though, there are multiple things you can do to stop mumbling, and I would definitely spam that. If I was him, I would definitely spam rhetoric training like day and night. Oh my god, bro. If I spoke like that, bro, you couldn't catch me dead a single day of not doing rhetoric training, bro.
You have the exact opposite problem with betweener, bro. His tongue's too fat and your tongue is too light. There's no weight behind the words you speak.
Yeah, okay, retard. But anyway, yeah, facts. But but yeah, so he said that was a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, so I would definitely spam that if I was him. But yeah, that's one thing. And then arguments wise, whenever someone gives reasoning for something similar to what you said, it's like, yeah, that just does not follow whatsoever. And I'm not like debate goonish to like some people that are like socially inept to where they start like debate gooning, but I do, if I care about the person, I will point out like, hold on, that doesn't really make sense. Like explain why. If it's a random, it depends. Like if I have time, I'll like, okay, sure, I'll like try to say something, but if they are super resistant, I'll just leave it alone. But I'm definitely aware that a lot of people's reasoning isn't good. Wait, what'd you say?
No, I didn't say anything yet. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'm definitely super aware of that when it comes to other people. And then also me, like when I think about doing or saying anything, it's pretty much always accompanied by, okay, why would I say that? Why should I say that? Okay, why would I do that? What justification do I have for that action? And if I don't have I don't have a justification for that, then I won't do it.
Did you get punched through a door? What happened to you?
No, something just fell.
Oh my God, I was about to say. All right. Well, hold on. Well, I think one last question before we end the stream is this, right? Let's reminisce a bit. Who is your least favorite debater to debate?
My least favorite debater to debate of all time, I'm assuming, since you said let's reminisce.
Of all time.
Of all time.
We're talking about the lowest of the low. We're talking about like you hate debating them so much that you're almost willing to consider just conceding so you don't have to debate them.
So two people come to mind instantly. One of them is Bubbles. The other one was actually one of them is Kenny, but both of them for entirely different reasons. With Bubbles, it was literally the act of debating him. So if it's my least favorite to debate, it's definitely him. With Kenny, it was a little bit different because it wasn't so much that I hated debating him, like the action of it, but what I did hate was that I would debate him and win, and then like 6 months later, or sometimes even the same month or the same day, he would claim that he won, or that, I'm better now. I'm so much better. Like it's not the same. Like you can't say that you're better because that was old me, and it's like, okay. And then I literally would beat him, and then the new him facade would get like shattered, and then like it would kind of the same thing would happen over and over again. Like I think we debated
in a time.
Yeah, facts. No, dude, we debated like 7+ times, and for the most part, it was always the same. It was either like I would just blatantly beat him, like he conceded more than once, I believe at least 2 or 3 times. But then when he didn't concede, it would be like, oh, we can leave it as inconclusive because you're gonna think you won and I'm gonna think I won. So let's just say that it's inconclusive so that we won't, start like get into VC and start arguing over who won. And I'm like, okay, bet, fine, inconclusive, sure. And then I would say, oh, we decided to leave it as inconclusive. And then I would find out, like, whatever, a week later that he's telling people he's better than me. And then sometimes he would do it in front of me like, oh, yeah, I beat you, Cool Geek. And it's like, bro, what? Weren't you the one to volunteer to leave the debate inconclusive? That wasn't my idea. You said we should say that. And then, like, and then I would debate him. I would win. And then, it's like, oh, inconclusive. Oh, it's like, okay, sure, whatever. And then he'd say he won. And then he would concede. And then, the cycle would just repeat.
Fair enough.
But with Bubbles, it was literally just him debating me because when it came to Bubbles, it was the fact that he would use rat tactics, but like super obvious ones. But it was also the case that I could get past them. And it was annoying because I literally just did get past them. And it's like, dang, bro, like, he either sucks or he thinks I'm like retarded because like there's no way that I wouldn't be able to get past this argument because the argument was just that bad. Now, I am aware that not a lot of people have like good anti-rat tactics or whatever, but in the moment, that's kind of what I'm not thinking about other people. I'm thinking about me and Bubbles, right? I'm thinking like, okay, he presented this argument. Okay, why is he presenting this argument? And then it's like, okay, does he think it's going to win? Like he thinks I suck. That's crazy. Yeah, and then and so that was one of the main reasons why I didn't like debating Bubbles was, like he would present a retard argument and then I would debunk it easily, and then I'm like, dang, did you think I was that retarded? Like, holy crap.
Fair enough. Well, do you have like a final message to close the show?
Let me see. Let's see. All in all, learn debating. I'm back. Join the server. Link in the description. Link in the chat as well. And Yeah, that's it. Anything from you, Punk Rider, Debater? Anything?
Goodbye,
All right.
everybody.
Goodbye. Enjoy Geek's brief return, and see you later.